Hello YouTube, no cheesy introduction. I'm gonna go straight into the video. This is a 2010 Chevy Malibu, the V6 3.6 liter. This problem, it also happens with, I believe, 2009 to 2014, as well as Saturn and Pontiac, other GM models. The problem we're having is that after you drive the car for a while, the engine would not crank to start up after you've stopped it. So after 20-30 minutes or so, the car will crank up and run fine till you turn it off again. So what I happened to find a video by Advanced Level Auto. I don't know how to put the little thing up in the corner, so I'm just going to put it in the description. It turns out he was explaining how this junction block works and how it was losing. It had a small crack underneath in the a ground wire. Now this shares a common ground with a lot of other stuff, but what was happening is, I'll show you on the old one. This relay here, you can see here, your pins. Well, what it is this pin here was your ground, and the problem with this particular problem is it's hard to pinpoint it. So when your car won't start, you call a tow truck, and then you're embarrassed because the tow truck driver gets there, starts it up, drives it up on the flatbed. Or by the time you get to the mechanic, everything's working fine because it's been sitting and cooled off. Most people don't stay at a place fewer than 15 minutes or 30 minutes, so it's hard to notice this problem unless you stopped at a gas station or somewhere real quick and it didn't start. So what I did, I use a multimeter and just a silly light here, but I used the multimeter to check continuity for ground. And of course, when it's cool, you have ground here. But when it was hot, which I happened to catch, my son drove home, he tried to start it, he says, hey, it's doing it again right now. Ran outside, took my power. I had power here, and then when the key's on, you have power there. But then when I did a continuity for the ground, there was nothing there. So I put this on the positive and probed the ground, nothing there. Took a can of air and sprayed air there till it cooled down. Check there, boom, light comes on. It's that ground. Well, it was giving a bunch of different codes. Every time I would clear a check engine light code, it would be something else. It was saying there was a fault with the catalytic converter. It says there was a fault with a knock sensor. And so I was like, this car's full of gremlins. So it wasn't until I watched Advanced Auto's video and he explained that's what the problem was, and he has 2 videos. Go watch those. He'll explain how to diagnose it, how to fix it. But I just wanted to show you how to change this out, because at first when you look down in here, you see a bunch of wire harnesses, and I was thinking I was gonna have to cut and splice all these wire harnesses and everything, blah. I wasn't gonna do it. But what it is you have 3 bolts. You have one here, take the battery out, one there, one there. The whole battery tray will move it to the side. You have these little clips on here. You just raise these clips and lift up. You got 4 of them, so just lift it out. You can get it to the side. Loosen all of these, because there's 4 modules that are screwed into here, and there's a lot of pins in there, so when you unscrew them, those modules are going to be hard to get. So I use a little screwdriver back in here and tried to pry them a little bit, jam and jiggle until they came out. And that was the easiest part of it. Put the new one in, put it in. This will screw it down and suck it right into place. Works like a charm. That's it basically on the technical part of the video. The rest of the video, I'm just going to be talking about how the part number that you want to get is going to be on the part itself. Do not try to go to a junkyard and just get whatever part, because these are kind of specific. Even with this, it's because it's a V6, it's totally different than the 4-cylinder ones, and there's also an option for the ones with fog lights. So I went to the dealer because I went through 6 scrap yards and I could not find one. And at the dealer, when I got a new one, I put it in and I still had a no crank. But I went and I probed the power and there was no power to it. So the brand new box was faulty from the manufacturer. So I went back, got another one, put it in, fired right up, no problems. I actually have no data codes at all. The TPMR light, or the tire pressure monitoring system light, was on, and that's no longer on. So if you have all kinds of weird issues going on with your car, this might be the problem, because you see a lot of these cars sitting at wrecking yards where it's like, man, that car looks like it's in great shape. But when someone has an issue with electrical, you immediately assume, hey, computer's no good. Bam, $1,000. Nobody wants to spend that. I'll just get rid of the car and go get another one. When it's actually, this part here costs $240 at the dealership. You can find the used ones for $80, $100 online, but you run the risk of getting some problems. Like I said, I had a problem with the brand new one. I'm not going to trust a used one. If you have other little issues that you're not sure it's the same issue, what you could do, if it's no crank or no run, here's your crank. This is crank and run. So this is just a start. This is crank and run. Those are high power. You could swap this one. It's the same one. Swap it with that. See if it cranks. Swap it with that. See if it cranks. Because it could be a bad relay. It wasn't in my case, and that's how we figured it out and fixed it. So good luck to you all, and go check out that other video I posted in the description. Thank you.